Hello, 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 beautiful people. Hello. Thanks to the amazing Megan Small. Thank you
Hi,
for
Tom.
joining. Thank you today. There's so much I want to go through with you. First of all, how have you been?
Girl, I'm good. Well, I've been good. I've been good. My little one is home with the flu. He's got a cold again. You've been,
Yeah.
Paula, I got to thank you for the tips you gave me that night to help with his fever. Seriously, you are a lifesaver. Like, I cannot thank you enough for the tips that you gave me to help him. Like, we've been doing it every night because his fever comes back at nighttime, but it's been really helping. So thank you for all of that.
Oh no,
Seriously, it
I'm
means so
glad
much
that
to
it
me.
helped. It's not. Well, it's called experience, but also because I have some people who volunteer at the clinic, the
Mhm.
doctors. And a lot of times they have, but there's no medication, so they
Expedia helps you find the right time to book.
so they try to help as much as they can without any medication. So that usually pretty much works well,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know. So I'm glad that he's doing much better.
Mhm.
Molly. I'm so glad.
Yeah, I'm just keeping
Very
him
well.
home from school for the week just in case, right? And then just start him off next week all fresh. But besides all that, everything is good. How are you doing? How's everything on your end?
Hasn't stopped raining. We're trying not to. Yes, you can see my producer here. She's um she's trying to be the center of attention, but she's so cute. I love her. I'm so in love with her. It's sickening. Hi, Del Plumber. Hello, everybody. Thanks for welcoming Megan Small. Andrew won't be able to join us because he's not doing well. So he's a little bit ill. He'll be able to share that when in his own because I don't want to say things that he doesn't want me to say. So yes, thank you for joining us today, Man Small Molly. We have so much to talk about.
Where do you want to even start?
Well, you know, I'll tell you the stories that are out there, and I'll tell you why I think these stories are being put out to cover something up, which is major.
Mhm.
You know, so let's start with the following. We have seen this one. Just one second. You can see it and you can read it. Just give me 1 second, and I am going. If you can talk about this, just give me 1 second. I have to go pick up some medication,
Of
but can
course.
you talk
Go ahead.
about this one?
Yeah, of course. This ridiculous story that has been put out by Harry and Meghan's team. So apparently, Harry is going to call King Charles and allegedly Archofficial and Elizabeth sang happy birthday to their grandfather in a video. I mean, I don't know who believes that, but let's just say that that had happened. Now, isn't that strange? Now, imagine trying to set up a 4-year old and a 2-year old to sit in front of a camera and to sing happy birthday to a person that they don't even know. Could you imagine that? Now, being a parent to a 4-year-old myself, I know that it is almost impossible to get my 4-year-old to even sit down and take a nice photo. I usually have to, I don't know, bribe them or something. But Paula, I'm talking about getting together a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old to put out a video. If something like that even happened by Archofficial and Invisibet, but we all know this is all BS that's been put out.
Yeah, let me read this. King Charles and Prince Harry will speak again next week after a phone call on His Majesty's 75th birthday marked a shift in tone and a turning point between the pair. It emerged today. Now, there's only two camps that could have said that, either Buckingham Palace and they're not leaking anything,
Mm-hmm.
or Harry and Meghan Markle. And as we know, they have a tendency to put things out that are not true to create a narrative, knowing that the royal family won't answer to this. Okay. The
Of
Duke of
course.
Sussex is believed to have phoned his father on his special day yesterday to wish him happy birthday. It was thought to have been a warm conversation and the strange royal's first phone chat in 6 months, right? Meghan Markle is also said to have spoken to her father in law to pass on her wishes from California. And the couple's invisible, non existent children Arch, and Invisibet recorded a video of themselves singing happy birthday to their grandfather. The Telegraph newspaper reported. Charles and Harry are understood to have had minimal contact for months, particularly since the release of Harry's tell-all memoir, Spare, published in January, and a Netflix series which was released the month prior to that. It is not known how a new bombshell book by the Sussex's biographer Omid Scobie, who has claimed that William and Harry ties are broken and there's no going back, will affect any future rapprochement. And we look at Harry and Meghan with the fake children and Charles there, and continue reading. Harry and Meghan previously said they had no contact from Buckingham Palace about an invitation to Charles' 75th evening birthday event. The Sunday Times reported that Prince Harry had turned down an invitation to the birthday bash. But a source close to the Sussexes, also known as Meghan Markle, told Mail Online they were not invited to Charles' party. They had not received any invitation and were unaware of any celebrations until the story came out. The insider, Meghan Markle, previously said, adding, I am sure the Duke will find a way to reach out privately to His Majesty a happy birthday like he has always done. Buckingham Palace previously refused to discuss the king's plans. Meanwhile, the Prince and Princess of Wales were seen enjoying a night out, blah, blah, blah. We have that all there, right?
Of course.
But what is to me incredible is this barrage of articles ongoing nonstop prior. It's like it's nonstop. It's absolutely nonstop barrage of articles about Charles and Harry and Meghan and Harry not reaching out or whatever.
It almost feels like they're putting all this, trying to gain some positive publicity for themselves before Omid starts releasing his book, right? Because they've already released, People magazine this morning released some bits of it, right? And it's all about it's a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS, basically. I don't know if we're going to discuss that or if you want to go into that later, but
Sorry, which one?
People magazine has uploaded or has an exclusive excerpt of Omid Scobie's book, right? And it's already, they're serializing it, right? So they've already put some out on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. And it's just ridiculous. They're making a claim that Meghan Markle was the first one to alert Harry that the Queen passed away because she found out before. Get out of here. And then
I saw that one. Yeah. It's something. This is like Finding Freedom, because they go to very, very detailed. They said that Harry saw there was a phone call from an unknown number, which Harry never answered, but Meghan Markle urged him to answer it.
Yeah.
So who would know that other than Harry and Meghan Markle?
She always tries to paint herself like she's the better person, right? Oh, Harry, answer the phone, even though you never pick up unidentified numbers. Please answer. Shut up, seriously. And then it also just makes, there was another part in the excerpt where it brings up the whole, well, Catherine wouldn't be up at the Queen's side. And so Meghan, it just makes her look so petty and so childish, just constantly bringing this up. But anyways.
Yeah. But what is incredible is that we've seen these type of articles. Clearly they were not invited. And clearly if Charles is calling Harry from an unknown number, that's because he doesn't want Harry to have that number. So most likely Harry called Clarence's house or some sort of the palace, because now they don't have any of the private numbers. They have to call the palace like anybody else and be put through. Charles is not about to risk himself being recorded by anybody so it can be the story. So I have a friend of mine who's a very, very good source. And he said that he left a message because he wasn't allowed to get, he couldn't get through to talk to Charles.
Well, don't phone calls have to go through Charles's super hunky knight there?
Major Johnny,
Major Johnny, right? Through his equerry now, right?
Yeah. But this is the thing. Look at Sarah. She looks really pretty.
Let's see this. Oh, she's so gorgeous.
I really wish she would get titles, you know. I
I
really do.
know. I wish these two were teamed up with William and Catherine. Now,
Can
those
you imagine that?
that would be a powerful force. Like that would be crazy.
And
These four would be the absolute. I don't like using the term Fab Four, but they would be truly the Fab Four of the royal family.
can you imagine Mike Tyndall being the patron of the rugby?
Oh,
I
that
think
would
that'd be perfect.
incredible. That would be incredible.
Absolutely. But this is the thing that I'm going with this. To me, this is a fit for the snub that they were never contacted, they were never invited.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is, but all of this noise, and I'm going to call it noise, although I hate that word, all of this noise is to cover for a bigger story. We will get into this a little bit later. But this is a source.
I don't believe the whole phone call thing. I don't believe it ever happened. Nothing like that ever happened. I don't even believe that Harry has had contact with his father in over a year. So no, I don't believe any of this. They just need a connection.
They're just so contradictory, you know. They in one go they said that they're talking. They even sent a video of our, you know, those two invisible kids, and then the next minute they're saying they haven't had contact. And all these articles are being put out by Meghan Markle, by the way, just to keep themselves in the news because
they're desperate. It's desperation, right? They have nothing. People are seeing them for who they are, a bunch of lazy effing grifters, as they've been called. And that's what they are. They don't do anything else. They need to be seen to be connected to the royal family, just like how Meghan was seen walking with a poppy and stuff when Americans don't wear poppies. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And we don't wear it on Remembrance Day, on our Remembrance Day.
And the funny thing is that they're doing all of this. They're attaching themselves. And this is going to happen over and over and over again. Because every time a major event is coming, it's always, will they or won't they? Will they or won't they?
They will.
And then we're going to get a book by like Omid saying that they were snubbed. That Harry didn't know anything about the queen dying because they're trying to excuse their nasty behavior. Hey, we didn't know she was dying. It still wasn't okay to do what they did. I mean, what do you think?
Of course. They would have known that she was dying, right? That the queen was passing away. They would have had an idea that she was ill. There was something going on. They don't care. They just want to rewrite the narrative constantly and get their version out. What they do is that they put out a version of the story, see how it's received by the public, and then if it's not well received, they try and rewrite the story and the narrative again and try and put it out a different way again. I mean, do you believe it? What do you think? What's your opinion on
there
it?
was never a phone call. If they called, it is, you know, Molly, I was thinking, I did a video earlier today about, because in the article that I read from the Daily Mail, it was how Harry extended an olive branch to the king, how Harry was being grandiose and magnanimous, that he, an absolute moron, British Forrest Gump, is extending an olive branch as though he has been done hard by the royal family. It really goes to show you how narcissistic these two are, how self-absorbed these two are. Well, thank you, Gwen Mendez. Thank you for the super chat. And I agree. Even if they didn't know, you don't treat your grandma like that. You fucking right, you don't. You know? And I gotta ask you something, Molly.
Yes.
I'm a huge Marvel fan, Star Trek and stuff like that. Does Omid think he's an Avenger calling the book The End Game?
Oh, God.
The End Game.
I was almost looking at that headline like it's a foreshadowing of what's coming for them. This is going to be their end game.
Yeah, but is he an Avenger or something?
You know what? You know what I feel like they do? Because the end game, when you Google it, it gets high search engine results, right? It's all about SEO and search engine optimization. So when you search up Endgame, because it was big, right? In the Marvel universe, books and everything, right? So now when you search that, the end game Omitscobi will be connected to that as well, and will start popping up on search engines. That's the only reason why I believe they did that.
This is the article I believe that you're talking about here. No going back for William and Harry. This is Omitscobi's claim in full, from the Duke being kept in the dark about Queen's death to brothers' bond broken beyond repaired and Meghan snub. I mean, Harry was kept in the dark, Molly, about the Queen's health in the hours before she died, the Prince biographer has claimed. Omitscobi, who's a close friend of the Duke of Sussex, said Harry, 39, and his 42-year-old wife, Meghan Markle, had no idea the royal family were preparing for his grandmother's death last year.
Yes.
This is the one that you're talking about. The allegations come amid a deep rift between Prince Harry and his relatives, including Prince William and King Charles, following explosive attacks on them in his memoir Spare. In his new book Endgame, I really hate that title because it ruins my movie.
It's just like Finding Freedom, another dumb title.
Yeah. Mr. Scobie suggests William and Harry's relationship is beyond repair because the Prince of Wales sees his brother as a defector. In an extract shared with People, he claims there is no going back for the brothers, and absolutely nothing has changed since the Duke of Sussex released Spare earlier this year. Buckingham Palace has not yet commented on the extract. This is what Omid is talking about. William ignored Harry when he asked how he was planning to get to Scotland. Eventually, he booked a £30,000 charter flight, which I'm sure Charles paid for it afterwards, to Aberdeenshire, I think that's how you say it, from Luton. Charles told him to come without Meghan. Sources claim she wasn't wanted. Harry has no idea about what was going on in Balmoral when his plane took off. But sources briefed newspapers that Charles had personally informed Son. William believes Harry has been brainwashed by an army of therapists. What do you say to all of this? Please do go. I'll leave it here so you can go one by one.
The point that William ignored Harry, after everything that bald idiot has done to him and his family and treated everyone else, I would ignore him too. Harry is probably upset that he had to be a grown man for once and book his own flight. He probably is upset over that he had to do something for himself. And let's talk about Meghan not being there. Would you want a charlatan like Meghan by the Queen's deathbed? In my opinion, I 100% believe that if there was any way that Meghan got herself in the same room as where the Queen was lying and spending her final moments, there would have been a photo taken and it would have been leaked to the press. I 100% believe that Meghan would have somehow taken a photo of the Queen dying in her bed and would have put it out to the public. I 100% believe she would have done something sinister and disgusting like that. She would have definitely, you know how much money a photo like that would get from publication? A photo of the Queen on her deathbed as she's dying? That would make multi-millions.
And
right?
let's not forget, Meghan has zero scruples about doing that because she sees people as opportunity for exploitation.
This is the same girl who had no problems using murdered innocent children at Uvalde for PR. I wouldn't be surprised if she would do something like that. I don't put it past her for 1 second. So I'm glad that she wasn't allowed to go up to Balmoral. She has no place there, especially after all the complaining she had done about the Queen and the royal family. And this was after they had welcomed her in with open arms.
What do you think? Well, we have here Gwen Mendes. What do you say? Let's say, thank you, Gwen Mendes. What do you think of that, Molly?
Paula, do you think the crown is going to try and run with Harry's narrative that Prince William is to blame for? I don't know what I think about that. I really don't know what to think about that at all. I a part of me almost wishes that Netflix is making some kind of be-real of all their dealings with Harry and Meghan and later release their own show of what it's like dealing with Harry and Meghan behind the scenes. But with that, I really don't know if the crown is going to run with Harry's narrative. I don't think so. I think if they try to, then maybe the royal I don't even know if the royals would even mention or come out stating anything against that. So I really don't know about that one. What's your opinion on that?
Well, to tell you the truth, the Crown Netflix is just they're trying to exploit as much as they can.
Yeah.
It's exploitative. So whatever they can. And they have actually at the beginning they were semi-factual, but they have run so far apart from before. I really like the first and second season.
Yeah.
And then after that,
it went downhill.
It went downhill, yeah. It went downhill because too much fantasy, even though it's not, we know that it's not a factual thing, but it was, it was actually quite accurate and quite a lot of stuff,
A lot of people, what's sad is that a lot of people think the crown is factual. Even like people that I know that watch it, they believe it's real. I've even asked them, I said, do you believe this is based on facts and what's actually gone on in history? They go, yeah, this is definitely what's happened.
That's younger people though, right?
Actually, there are some people that are close, like older too, that believe it. But these are people that don't follow the royal family, right? That don't follow the history or that aren't paying close attention like we have been since William was a child, right? We've been following it closely. These are audiences that have no idea, that are just tuning in because there's something new and they're being fed this BS.
Yeah, that's the thing, and this is the danger of it all because they don't put a disclaimer before that.
Yeah.
They don't
put it at the end now? Do they put the disclaimer at the end now? No, nothing at all, right?
No, not that I've seen it. But okay, let's go through the second one here where it says eventually he booked a 30,000-pound charter flight to Aberdeenshire. I don't know how to pronounce that thing, from Luton. What do you think of that? Do you think he actually would pay that, or do you think he charged it to Pa?
Oh, obviously he charged it to Dad. Harry wouldn't spend that kind of money. Remember, he wouldn't even buy a plane ticket for Chelsea Davy or whatever to come over to visit him, right? But I'm supposed to believe that Harry, who doesn't know
about him not paying for Chelsea Davy, tell us.
Yeah, there was that story where Harry was dating her and they had to attend a wedding somewhere and she had to pay for her own flight to get there. He wouldn't even pay for her plane ticket. But I don't believe Harry booked a flight. I don't think Harry knows the difference between an ass and, well, his face, but I don't think he booked anything. I think if anything, Meghan would have booked it for him, but I don't think he booked it himself.
And charged it to the palace, clearly.
Yeah, of course. 100%. You think Harry's going to take No, he would probably get Daddy to pay for it. And maybe Charles did pay for it out of his own personal account. Who knows?
I mean, what people don't understand is that we have all these fluff articles. And I'm going to say fluff articles. We have Catherine, the beautiful Princess Catherine, here.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the Shaping Us, which is monumental. The great thing about Catherine and William is that they don't claim to be experts. Instead, they let their platforms to experts.
Yeah.
They see themselves as the vehicle where other people can hop on so they can get taken everywhere. And she sees herself as a vehicle.
That's how it should be done. Right?
I mean, what do you make of this?
Doesn't she look incredible in the purple? And look right in the corner is the Queen in purple as well too. Look, it's the same shade of purple. I love it. You know what? She is doing great things with her platform and what she has. She isn't there pontificating to other people and acting like she's a know-it-all. You don't hear a sap story from her. It's all about elevating other people and helping others out. Whereas with Megan, it's all about me. I got a seat at the table. I was allowed to sit at the table and I was like, just shut up. But what Catherine is doing is incredible, and I wish her all the best with her endeavors. Seriously, she's going to make an incredible queen one day.
Can you imagine the contrast? You know why I'm showing her? Because do you know how the Sussex Squad always trash
Of course.
Catherine because of her weight? Oh,
Yes.
she's anorexic. Look at her neck. Look at her. I mean, she's a healthy, slim, athletic woman with amazing, gorgeous legs, right?
Yeah.
Look at her. Look how amazing she is. Look at her legs. Look how, I mean, really beautiful woman. Look at that. Listen to that. No, because I'll get commercials and then I get copyright strike. This is said to be Catherine's life's work. Look at this woman. Look how people look at her with admiration and love.
Yeah, they adore her. They're not paid to look at her like that. Right?
None at all. No, not at all. And I'm going to show you something here. You'll see the difference. And I'm not being mean. This is not shaming or anything like that. But it has to be talked about.
Oh, God.
Who took the picture? Who did she take the picture with? I know you have the answer to that.
I do, but you know what? That girl, she's so pressed. She's claiming that she's not the daughter. She just put up a thing like she is loving the attention and everything. And even though she claims that it's not bothering her responding and reading everyone's notes and saying, now she's saying, oh, I'm not the bodyguard's daughter. I don't know. I think she's lying, but that's just my opinion.
But this is Meghan Markle thriving.
This is without all the filters that she usually has placed on her photos before releasing it. So I think squatties are just shocked at what she actually looks like.
I'm going to have to... Siri, mi amor. So, but what do you think about her? I mean, she looks masculine.
God, I mean, Paula, really, like, if you go to what she looked like a year ago compared to now, she looks terrible. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but she looks horrible. But guess what? I'm not falling for it. I'm not feeling sorry for her because this is what she wants. This is exactly what she wants. This is her next step in victimhood. She wants people to feel sorry for her. She wants people to worry about her. If anything, I think Harry should invest in a pair of scissors for them bushy eyebrows to get trimmed.
But you know why I'm saying this? You know why it bothers me? Because Princess Diana did have an eating disorder. I had an eating disorder, which is why I'm eating on purpose here. Meghan Markle is doing Ozempic. That's the Ozempic face.
Girl, that's more than just Ozempic. I know people who are on Ozempic and I haven't seen their faces turn like that. Seriously.
Actually, Shalon Lester did a whole video about her weight loss with Ozempic, and she looks fantastic.
She looks fantastic. She looks great. I think Meghan is it's got to be a combination of other kinds of illegal substances or pills or excessive alcohol. I mean, this isn't just straight Ozempic use. Let me tell you that.
Fake spraying, tan spraying, that also damages your skin because she's been black facing for so long. It's not even funny anymore.
Well, yeah, the spray tans do accentuate your creases and crow's nest. I put up a thing on my Twitter saying that Meghan's face would be perfect for a drug commercial. Like, this is your face before meth. This is your face after. Not that I know if she's on meth or anything. I was just using it as an example. But the thing is that she always looks dirty. She always her hair looks greasy. She always looks a mess. Her nails were chipped. Like, she doesn't show that she has any respect for herself, really. Because how do you present yourself like that? Always being a mess.
Let me tell you, maybe I'm way off here. But When she went to be on set, she's done to the nines. Whenever she has to do something for the United States or for other celebrities, she's dressed properly. She's looking her best. Whenever she has to do something that involves royalty or Harry, she looked like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just because when she went to be on set, she's like all done up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kevin Costner, all done up. But when she goes with Harry, she's a mess.
Well, it's because it's Harry's event and she has to get the attention on herself somehow, right? So I mean, Harry was the veteran. I mean, I don't even know if they were supposed to be at that event. I feel like they were last minute additions just shoved in to the side. But I feel like Harry should have had the spotlight, being that it was a Navy SEALs thing and he was in the military, but still the spotlight should have been on Harry, right? But no, it was all about her. We're talking about her looks and how she was acting. I mean, this photo here is just shows you her level of immaturity and disrespect. While other people are listening to the man who's giving a speech, here's Megan all like giddy, like a little child, like, oh, hi, best friend. How are you? So good to see you, right? Like, this reminds me, I remember I had a moment. My mother will never let me live this down. But when I was 16, I was walking down to the store and I saw my girlfriend, right? She was at like the other end of the walkway and we were like, oh my God. And we like ran towards each other and gave each other hugs, right? This reminds me of that exact moment of two 16-year-old girls seeing each other like, oh, hey, how's it going? Right? Like, that's exactly what it's like to me. I mean, do you see Catherine ever acting like this? Do you see any adults ever acting like this?
No.
Never.
And that's when she found that lady who was claiming not to be the daughter of the bodyguard, right?
Well, Megan went straight for her. If you remember, when they were outside and they were cutting the ribbon, Megan was trying to like get them to go inside quickly, right? And then she goes, are we going inside now? You can hear her on the microphone. It got picked up. So this was, in my opinion, this was all set up and planned because she needed to get inside and get her photo taken with this one girl. But yet we see no other photos of Megan posing with anyone else, right? And this girl just happens to be a mom and a wannabe like influencer, online influencer.
I'm trying to see if I have this picture here. Oh, here we go. I'm going to show you this picture because that's actually, I think this is the actual picture. And I'm going to show it to you so you guys can see it. Here we go. That's the picture, right?
Yeah.
That's the woman that she saw. She went for her like a beehive, like a bee. Spotted her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know what? It's the same as like when her and Harry were in Australia and there was a planted fan there who knew Megan and Megan just made a beeline towards her. And this girl was maybe like, I don't know, 15, 16, 17, something like that. And she's like, I'm a huge fan of Suits. I'm sorry, a young child of your age watching Megan's sex scenes on Suits? What are you doing watching Suits? Which told me right away it's BS and she's planted this person. Everywhere that Megan went on the tour, there was someone planted who was a fan of Suits. Suits wasn't that great of a show. It only got 1 million plus a little bit more viewers. It wasn't like a multi-million viewed show.
No, I know. Look at, I mean,
the weird looking dude behind them is James Holt. Did you notice his looks have gone downhill too? I almost feel like everyone who works with Megan, their looks all have gone in the toilet. Like, he was at least semi-decent looking. He looks like he aged like 40 years being around her.
Can you remind me who James Holt was?
James Holt is, here, let me pull it up so I get the exact James Holt. Or
Del Plummer, what's with her jacket? She always looked like a mess. Whenever she goes to any royal events that has to do with veterans, that is not show business, and that has to do with Harry, she's going to make sure that she's going to trash whatever appearance in order to, you know. Derek, we have Meghan Markle, 43% Nigerian, 57% Oompa Loompa. Absolutely agree.
Well, right now she 57% Oompa Loompa and like 27% praying mantis.
Yeah.
So James Holt works at Archewell as their communications director, but before that, he was Harry's friend also before that, right? But they brought him on as the Archewell communications director. Yeah.
Okay, this is great that you touched upon that. I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm gonna show you one more thing before we start going to what I really think is going on. But of course, it's up to you guys to decide whether I know how this works because we used to do this a lot ourselves to distract from proper headlines or proper problems. This is Meghan Markle, courtesy of Bag Red. Remember you and I with Andrew, we did that live and you guys said her parking lots and her Bag Red days are behind?
Yes.
There's no way.
Yes.
And the reason for that is because she can't help herself.
Yeah.
She had, and I did actually a short on my YouTube where I said she should at least call them before she goes on the place. That way it actually looks like they're stalking her, so they can take pictures of her going in and then coming out.
Yeah.
But she's always coming out to parking lots.
Yeah.
And the lady she had lunch with is the lady who lost her son under very mysterious circumstances and who has a twin named Lily. If that's not morbid enough, I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And what is amazing is that Daily Mail says Meghan Markle displays her pins, her legs.
Her legs for days. I'm sorry, I take Catherine's legs over those things any day.
But do you remember we had this discussion, and you and Andrew were absolutely convinced that what we're going to see from now on are these very polished presentations of Meghan Markle. That setup with her and that woman, the one that posted her picture, that was not arranged by WME.
Did she do it herself?
That's what she does herself. WME would have liked for her to be polished, and at the event, she was blocking Harry. Harry didn't want to be in front with her.
Mm-hmm.
So they were all had like a queue, like a line that they were supposed to stand there. Meghan Markle clearly ignored it, right?
Yeah.
And then she jumped that, and then Harry doesn't want to be next to her, even though Meghan Markle is making space for him. He doesn't want to do it because he's being respectful. Instead, he's hiding behind. But you guys said, that would have been perfect had she just kept it like that, right? You come out, you stand behind, and because the lady wanted to cut the ribbon standing next to Harry.
Would have been better too.
That was the whole point.
Yeah.
But then we get a Meghan Markle moment. And this is why I said to you, there is absolutely no way that this woman is not going to stage pap walks in parking lots all the time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
She can't help herself because nobody's chasing her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you make of this?
Well, nobody cares about her. This is all she has. And the fact that, I was thinking a company, a PR agency like WME, they couldn't get her any work because she doesn't listen to their instructions. We don't see any of WME's clients doing parking lot pap walks like she does. None of them. It's almost like she's bringing the entire agency's brand down. She's making them look bad. And in my opinion, if Sunshine Sachs couldn't make you happen, if WME hasn't made you happen so far, you married a director, he couldn't make you happen, your father couldn't make you happen, then the problem is you, right? But she doesn't seem to get that. She still thinks that she's a star and deserves to be a superstar. And she really thought in her head that if she went over and married Harry and came back as a duchess, people would be falling at her feet. But she has shown people over and over again that there is no reason why people should adore her. That's the thing. Meghan needs to show people why she should be loved. Going around and pontificating to people and telling people how they need to live their lives and giving them advice like you're a know-it-all when you're nothing but a 90210 BJ actress tells me that she's got no talents. She has nothing. She should just give it up. Instead, she's making the lawyers and the PR agency rich because she still pays their bills, or WME wouldn't be dealing with her.
The thing is that, though, they had everything planned. And this is why I say to you guys, she can't help herself. Because when she feels that Harry's taken away, everybody was ignoring her. Everybody was talking to Harry during that event.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, she found somebody that she planted. And it's like, you're here.
It's such a farce. I mean, you don't see it happen with any other celebrities, but yet Meghan Markle is the only person who just happens to pick out a single fan and runs out to them and, oh, hi, how's it going? And this is the person who you see gives everyone dirty looks. She obviously thinks she's better than everyone, but yet she always goes towards someone to give them a hug. That's definitely set up. She was the type of snob that would never go up to a random person and hug them. You saw her during the royal walkabouts. She was awkward with strangers. She would barely interact with them. It would only be like a, hi, thank you for coming, and then move on. Hi, thank you for coming, and move on. It's the same script over and over again. But the fact that she beeline towards one person and starts having like a little dialogue tells me it's set up and it's bullshit.
Yeah, but it's a setup by her. Just
it's
like this
by her, yeah.
It's set up by her as well.
It's not the first time she's done it. She's known for doing that. She did that when she was on the set of Suits in Toronto, when they would have like little PR events. It would be like, oh, someone sees Meghan, they're a huge fan. Why would you be a fan of the sixth on the call sheet? She was only known as the main character's girlfriend. That's it.
She had a supporting role.
That's it. Yeah, not an A-list role. She wasn't a Hollywood star. She never made it into any big movies. Her father is an award-winning Emmy award-winning lighting director, and he couldn't get her anything. That tells you a lot right there.
Well, he did get her small roles, but she wasn't talented enough for them to follow, to hire her.
Paula, it's not that she wasn't, well, I don't want to say that she wasn't talented enough. I want to say that she was lazy, because we see most actors and actresses, they're always working on their craft, right? If they're not making movies, they're some way on Broadway or doing small plays to like keep working on being a good actor or actress, right? Whereas Meghan just expected to be giving the top roles and just to be given the best positions without any experience whatsoever and without putting the work into it. And yes, Amber Heard had many fake fans outside the trial, especially after when Amber Turd was dropped.
It's actually pretty horrible if you think about it. But this is what this, and for people to understand this, the reason why Harry and Meghan are desperately trying to associate themselves and make themselves look that they're in good graces with the royal family, especially the king, is because of this story. Prince Harry's Invictus Games is thrown into chaos as 2 top chiefs are sacked. As insiders warn, staff morale is at an all-time low and claim event is over budget despite $30 million government grant. And this $30 million government grant came from Canada, which is...
So it was $15 million was given by the ex-premier of BC, John Horgan. He pledged $15 million to the Invictus Games. And then Justin Trudeau came and pledged another $15 million from the federal government to make it a whopping $30 million. But what I want people to understand, especially people who live in BC, British Columbia residents, despite you guys having to pay $15 million of your taxpayer money to this bullshit, on top of that, it's not just the $15 million. There's going to be more expenses. So when the games begin, BC residents are going to be on the hook for all of the security, all of the accommodations, all of the travel, all of the food, XYZ, whatever for the Dastardly Duo during the entire duration of the games, which I think is 10 or 13 days, something like that. And then on top of that, Paula, Whistler to Vancouver, because I've been many times myself to there, is a 2-hour drive in between, right? So if you're hosting, say if Harry is hosting a game in Whistler, but then Meghan decides to stay in Vancouver, you're going to need 2 sets of security for Whistler and another set out in Vancouver, right? Then there's a lot of travel back and forth between Whistler and Vancouver also for that. And on top of that, also what I want to know is that the previous Invictus Games, right? Every single host country has so far pledged 30 to $50 million for these games, right? The Netherlands, when they had it in The Hague, when they just did it recently in Dusseldorf, they gave $40 million for their games, right? I want to know how much money, how much revenue have these countries made by being a host city for these games? What is the point of countries like Canada, especially, and BC residents pay some of the highest taxes in Canada, right? And they're struggling, especially with their housing crisis and everything that's going on. They are struggling. So you think they want to be paying this kind of money and not seeing any kind of benefits towards their city? What's the point of a city giving $50 million or $15 million for these games if they're not seeing any revenue come back into their city, if they're not making money back from this? At least when the Vancouver hosted the Olympic Games back in the day, they made money off the Olympic Games, right? What are they doing for Harry's games? Nothing. And nobody knows where the money is going. There's no accounts being shown, nothing. Sorry, I totally went on a rant there.
No, please do. I like it when you do that. It's just that I don't, I have a sneaky suspicion there won't be any Invictus the way things are going, because listen to this. I'm Canadian. So Prince Harry's next Invictus Games in Canada, a country loved by him and Meghan Markle, is in turmoil. No, they don't love Canada because they fled Canada because Canada refused to pay for their security. Is in turmoil after 2 senior executives were dismissed for no apparent reason with just over a year to go, a whistleblower told Mail Online today. The Invictus Games will be held in Vancouver in Whistler in February 2025. That's too far long away. We're looking at 1 year and a half. I don't think it'll make it then. And will feature winter sports for the first time. But Mail Online can exclusively reveal that CEO Peter Lawless, a lawyer and arguably Canada's most respected Olympic and Paralympic administrator, has left his job abruptly.
You know what I think happened here?
What?
You know what I think? I feel like maybe this Mr. Lawless raised questions about how the funds are being used and Harry and Meghan's participation within the games. And I bet you him questioning it got him sacked. I bet you Meghan and Harry, or Meghan didn't like what he was questioning and she made him get sacked. That's what I believe.
Or he didn't want to be caught in any scandals too. That's another option,
Yeah, because look, he is a very respected member, as you just read about him. This is just like how when the Queen gave her most respected secretary to show Meghan the way, and yet they couldn't work with her. Samantha Cohen, I think it was, remember? All of these people who have experience in these games, Meghan and Harry won't work with them if you tell them how to do their job. because they know better than everyone, right?
Yeah. And they
And
need to exploit. They need to get money. These two don't do anything for free. They're lazy fucking grifters.
yeah, they are. That's all they are. And I feel sorry for the veterans because the Invictus Games is a good thing. I enjoy the Invictus Games. I love what it does for the veterans. Anything that is for the veterans, I'm all for. But when it turns into you're the one sticking your hands in the cookie jar and lining your own pockets, that's when I have a problem. So many of these veterans have a hard time paying for their prosthetics that need replacement, or have to pay so much for the training just to get to these games. And or did they see any monetary compensation from Harry using them for Netflix? I bet you none of those veterans saw any kind of money from Harry getting all this money making videos and recording them for his documentaries, saw a penny from him. Not at all.
Well, remember that there is the Invictus Foundation. What's it called? The Invictus Foundation, Invictus Games Foundation, which was also it was made into an LTD, and they're making money off of it.
Yeah.
This is for the directors, not for the veterans. They also
Yeah.
created a for-profit company, which is called
Yeah.
Invictus Games Foundation Limited, and they're making profit out of that. But what's really interesting is what it says here. An insider has claimed that Mr. Lawless, who was awarded the Diamond Jubilee Medal by Harry's grandmother, the Queen, in 2012, was fired, and morale amongst staff is now at an all-time low. An Invictus Games spokesman declined to comment on whether he was sacked, instead saying he had been transitioned out and was no longer an employee but will remain an ambassador. Also leaving the Vancouver Whistler team is Bill Cooper, who was in the role of chief commercial officer for 10 months until he left in October. He has thanked colleagues for their support after several praised his grace and accused Invictus 2025 of making a big mistake by getting rid of him. One Games volunteer said that staff are concerned that these recent moves will again overshadow this incredible event for our veterans. They also raised concerns that the Sussex's security and other costs may put a strain on Games finances if Invictus 2025 has to pick up the bill, which of course, and a fucking moron. I really can't stand Trudeau. I mean, guys, I am very sorry. I really can't stand Trudeau. So apologies for swearing, but I wasn't expecting to see that picture.
He looks like such a dork.
I think he's gay, but he doesn't want to come out. But there's nothing wrong with being gay.
He's such a dork.
But I mean, that really took me by surprise. Oh, there we have Harry and Meghan Markle in Dusseldorf. I mean, who is picking? These guys don't pay for themselves. Who is picking the tab here?
Well, Invictus, probably. Or the taxpayers of Dusseldorf, the German taxpayers. Right?
What my belief is, and I have somebody who's a friend of mine who works around Invictus Games things in 2025. Okay. Is the following, that there is a huge scandal because of the finances and everything that's going on. And there's a huge scandal that the veterans have not seen any money. And Harry and Meghan know this because Harry's profiting from it. And this is about to blow out. And this is why we're seeing suddenly Harry, other than the Book of Omid, coming out trashing the royal family, because that's Meghan Markle trashing the royal family using Omid Scobie. But now they themselves have been embroiled because they knew this story was coming out. They knew that this story about what's going on and that it has to do with finances. Because, guys, at the end of the day, everything is about money.
Yeah.
You know, everything is about money. They know that this scandal is coming, and they think, this is just my opinion, that by being close to, or by being seen to be close to the royal family, that Harry, things are starting to thaw out. You know, they're getting closer. The children sang to him. That this is going to deter people who want to sue them for financial fraud. I mean, what do you think?
Who's going to sue them for financial fraud?
I think that there's a lawsuit that's going to come out for financial fraud because Invictus is in a lot of trouble.
with the
with all the money
taxes.
that they got, all the finances and stuff from Netflix that is not going to them.
Well, that's what I want to see. I want to see like their tax documents. I want to see what's going on because they have been receiving a ton of money. I mean, how much money did Harry and Meghan's Invictus or did the Invictus Games receive from the Netherlands for hosting the games at The Hague? Over 50 million, I think, at that point.
Where
I
did
know
they
that.
get them from?
Huh?
Who gave them $50 million?
For the games to be hosted at The Hague.
But who paid the $50 million?
I think the Netherlands.
So
right?
the Netherlands
and then the German government.
dollars.
Yeah, and then the German government have given 40 million pounds for the games to be held in Dusseldorf, and now Canada's pledging 30. I mean, what is it? $30 million. I mean, what's going on with all this? We need to see records of what is going on. That's a lot of money. Where is it? What's happening to all of it?
To me, I think this is about to hit the fan. And this is why we're seeing all these fluffy things. This is why we've seen all these things about Harry and Meghan being close to the king, because it's worked in the past that nobody wants to sue anybody who's close to the king, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Don't see really look at Harry. Look at Charles when he was prince, when he has suitcases full of cash, and they try to pass that as standard commercial transactions in the Middle East, which is not. I can tell you that. You know, there's usually financial. There's a reason why any transaction above $10,000 has to be. You have to present receipts for that. Yeah. It has been a worldwide standard financial practice for ages. Yeah. So somebody shows up with suitcases filled with cash. You know, we've seen his Michael Fawcett, no criminal charges against him. You know who Michael Fawcett was? He's aide, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have all of that. Nobody gets hurt because they're close to the king. They're still on the royal website.
Mm-hmm.
They're still officially working royals.
Yeah. I honestly, a part of me wouldn't even be surprised if Harry and Meghan were receiving money from the king still. It wouldn't surprise me the least. Because why else would you need to be listed as royal members if you weren't getting something out of it? I feel like Harry is getting money from his dad still, but by being on the website as a working member, he can still receive that money. Yeah, I think the same for Andrew as well, because
they said that he's not.
I don't believe it. Because you know why I don't believe it? Because the King Charles is still paying for Andrew's security, right? Charles is still paying £3 million a year for Andrew to have security, despite Andrew not leaving his home much that we know. He's still living on the grounds, but he's still paying for Andrew's security. So if Charles is still paying Andrew's security, why am I not to believe that he's not paying for Harry and Meghan? Harry and Meghan, who aren't really making that much money, who are basically losing a ton of money, but still have their security. Harry still has his one security guard that he's had from his time when he had his naked romp in Vegas. That security guard is still with them. I'm supposed to believe that Charles isn't paying for their security or paying for their lifestyle somehow. I believe it. And I believe, as Gayla said too, that they are getting their wish of being half in, half out. The Queen never wanted that, but Charles is such a spineless wet wipe, in my opinion, that he doesn't have a backbone. He doesn't want to stir up any drama while he is king because he's waited for so long to be in this position. And he knows that his son is unstable. And if he says something, then maybe Harry will attack Camilla and that will start attacks on her, which Charles doesn't want, right? I think Charles is a horrible king for not dealing with Harry. Nobody's dealing with Harry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is in my video today, I talked about abuse. Abusive behavior
Mm-hmm.
never de-escalates. It always escalates when it goes unchecked.
Yeah.
In my video today, I talked about how Meghan and Harry, how much we can learn a lesson from Harry and Meghan about people when you see people like that, because they have made Charles' 75th birthday all about them. How did you read that article where they even go as far as saying that the reason that Charles leaked that Harry was going to call him on his 75th birthday is to detract from the failure that Kenya was, when actually Kenya was a resounding success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They
You
wanted
know,
it to be a failure.
but it
And
wasn't. And on top of
logically
that,
did.
yeah, it wasn't. And on top of that, he thanked his beloved daughter-in-law, Catherine.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're desperate. They're desperate, right? This is what desperation looks like.
what do you think? You touched on something that I wanted to ask you. You said that Harry's unstable. Do you
100%
really think
unstable.
he's unstable or just plain stupid or arrogant? Do you think it's a cocktail of a bunch of things? Do you
No,
think
all
that
of the
they're not
above.
aware of their actions?
All of the above. Not only is he unstable, but he is the biggest dumbass you will ever probably meet. I honestly think that. I compare Harry being like a pile of mud. You throw it to the wall and it just slides down. That's Harry, right? I believe that he's not only is he dumb, but he's been coddled to think that he is a smart guy because he's never been put in his place, right? I don't believe that Harry's ever had someone tell him off because he's always had bodyguards around him, right? I don't believe anyone has ever told Harry, "You're a stupid idiot," and smacked him across the face. I
Well,
don't think
Princess Diana did that. She didn't smack him on the face, but she would call him out.
I know, but I don't think any, like, when we're growing up as kids, if someone says something silly to you, you're like, oh, you're a stupid idiot, or you're lying, you're making that up, right? I don't think he had friends like that that would do that to him. So he's been coddled. He thinks he's smart. He thinks he's a know it all. But really, he's dumb, man. He's so dumb. I mean, he's dumb enough to give up his entire life and for what? What is he doing now? He's been dragged into the gutter by Meghan. When you marry someone, you're supposed to marry someone who helps elevate your life, right? Look at William and Catherine.
Yeah.
They're partners. They stand beside each other. They elevate each other. They protect each other. But not Harry and Meghan. Meghan's dragged Harry down to the D-list gutter that she belongs in, and he's the king's son. He should be like, there should be celebrities wanting to meet him, not the other way around where he's being made fun of and mocked by celebrities, right? He looks like a total dumbass.
Do you think, well, he's the same as Meghan Markle, because we know from Mr. Markle that he coddled her and everything the little princess wanted, the little princess got. And nobody, I mean, do you remember, did you do a live with us and Thomas Markle Jr., where he said that they went to this funeral and he made a comment about Meghan Markle, some joke about Meghan Markle, and Meghan Markle got really upset about it. And Mr. Markle gave him the really evil eye look and didn't speak to him for 2 weeks because he had made fun of his little princess, or he had said a joke about his little princess.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Tom Jr. was talking about it. He said that I think it was a funeral on Doria Ragland's side or something like that. And Tom Markle was there and he made a joke about Meghan Markle, and she was so angry with him. And then Mr. Markle gave him a hard look, and then he didn't speak to him for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
So we have two individuals, and this is why I say two individuals who have never been held accountable. They have never been held accountable to anything. So this is when I say to people, when I say to people, because I do a lot of my videos, Molly, you know that. When I say to people that they continue to behave this way because nobody's ever put a stop to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why would they need to stop this behavior? They're still being financed by Charles. They're still on the royal website. They're half in, half out. Yeah, they have shat on their own brand, but that's because they're both lazy fucking grifters who are
entitled. They expect everything to be given to them.
and have no talent.
Yeah.
They have zero talent. They don't even have talent to be D-list celebrities.
No.
You know, but I always get into this kind of discussions with people because, oh, you know, so and so says they're not aware of their actions, or they're not aware they're narcissists. They are aware. You know, from the moment you have to plan and you're aware of negative press and you're aware of things and you do things to counteract what you're doing, means that you're aware of your actions. These articles, all of these articles fed by Meghan Markle are not coincidence. She's aware of what is happening outside.
Yeah.
She's aware of her actions, but she's just angry that people are not just sitting down and taking it.
Well, that's why she wants to censor everyone, right?
Censorship, the word of the day.
That's exactly why why Harry's on the plan for, what is that? For the Aspen Institute and stuff, right? I mean, these two just want to censor everyone so that they can put out their own propaganda and bullshit without being questioned. They want to be able to put out stories that they went to a charity and gifted 50,000 pounds of food, and we all know it's bullshit, but they don't want to get checked on it. They're all about lies and taking the clout of other people's work. That's all they wanted, because that's what Meghan and Harry did as royals too, right? Other people would set up the engagements and they would basically just show up, and she expects everyone to do that for her because she's the Duchess of Sausages, right?
It is actually quite, if you think about it, Molly, if you think about it, it's like I'm gonna show your Twitter here.
You know, I always laugh, Paula, while you're on that thought. I always laugh about Meghan calling herself a worldwide feminist or the greatest feminist ever, because she literally had to go and marry a prince.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm looking at your thing here, and I want people to look at this. If you look, there's 4 little, you see those little dots on the ground? That's where everybody was supposed to be standing. But Harry and the other lady in yellow did not want to stand close to Meghan Markle. That's where they were supposed to be standing, Harry and the lady. You know, only Meghan was standing there. Harry's standing as far back as humanly possible without running away.
She's like a little kid, man. Do you remember if you were like little, you would run to the car with your friends and be like, me first, right? It's like that.
But why do you think that Harry and the other lady didn't just step forward? Because there was space for them to step forward, but it's like they didn't want to.
It's like nobody wanted to. Because you even see the men.
I am serious because look, the other gentleman over there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 spots.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. Only Meghan is at the front. The other people are standing back like, she's there.
I think her behavior is very obvious, right? To normal, sane adults like myself and others, when we see someone acting like that, we're like, they're not too screwed on tight, are they? So we just leave them alone.
But, you know, I feel like saying that they're insane lets him off the hook.
Yeah, it does. It does. If I was one of those people, I would have told, I mean, that lady did say, I can't see anything. And you would think that by saying that, she would have taken the hint, right? But she didn't. What are you going to say to her in front of all the cameras? Hey, Meghan, step the fuck back. Oops, sorry.
No, go for it. I love it when you say it with such taste.
Right? Like, is that what you're going to say? Hey, harlot, move back so we all can see. I mean, I wish someone would say that to her, but no one will.
Well, Kevin Costner did. Everybody on that stage were like laughing when she, when she tried to get the microphone from the lady when she first entered the stage. It's like, no, it's not for you. Yeah, and then true. When she tried to grab the awards, she was told off. And then when Harry was offered the mic and Harry pointed to Meghan, that guy, he just laughed on her face. Yeah. I mean, Did you see? I mean, he was
Well,
literally
she made an ass out of herself. She made an ass out of herself there with her horse blanket.
no, but it is actually pretty terrible if you think about that. And I was watching this. I was watching this thing that you have here. This picture. That he looks angry because he's
Well,
walking
do you
behind.
ever know? Well, not just that. Remember, he just made such a fuss to wear like the same, like hair. William couldn't wear, what are those gold ropes called that he puts on his uniform? The gold ropes that they have, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
William's outfit should have had the gold ropes as well, but then Harry made a fuss because he couldn't wear gold ropes also. Not that
Yeah,
he was
because
allowed
William
to.
is inactive and he's still considered like
Yeah,
Gary's no
like
longer
he
part of
shouldn't
there.
even been in his suit in the first place. But if you really look at that photo, you see everyone is like in grief, but yet Harry is angry. His face, you see anger on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I swear to God, he's tassel. They're called tassels, they say.
yeah, those gold tassels that they wear.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. And then we have this here, like Meghan Markle. Despite the lies Omid is peddling in his latest book, as told by his masters, Meghan. Never forget when Meghan openly mocked the Queen. And we're going to watch this for people. This bitch.
Pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. I remember in the car and driving up, and he said, "You know how to curtsy, right?" And I just thought it was a joke.
Can you pause it?
By the way, she took 2 courses in Pasadena because the gentleman has come out, and I think you and I have shown those videos, right, Molly?
Yeah, we did.
She just started even thinking of dating Harry. They weren't even serious. This is back in 2016, early 2016. She went to Pasadena and enrolled herself and took 2 courses or 2 hours or something like that.
She didn't enroll herself. She had a friend call in for her because she didn't want people to find out and had it put under a different assumed name to go and take etiquette lessons.
So she did know how to drink tea with the Queen, how to curtsy. She's curtsied on suits. She lived in Canada for quite a long time. This is a woman who falsely claims to be have international studies, which is not true. You know what? I have to. I'm gonna show you guys that. I'm gonna WhatsApp that. But so she would know, because if you majored in international studies, not international relations, you would know.
Well, not just that. Meghan lived in Canada for 7 years. The Queen was on the fucking money. Like, come on. And you're trying to say, I didn't know anything about the royal family. You idiot. It's on your money.
Yeah, but if she's if she studied international studies, actually the monarchies worldwide are part of that, and the cultural impact and all kinds of things that it involves. So she would have known about monarchies and pretty much all monarchies worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's part of the international studies thing that they do. So let's just continue watching this bitch. I'm sorry I'm calling her a bitch.
This part really pissed me off because she's like, we're on our way to meet the Queen, and Harry asks me, you know how to curtsy, right? And she looks at him and goes, you're joking, right? Like, are you the most disrespectful dumbass to ever walk this planet? Like, look, she's like, you're joking, right? Like, I have to curtsy? Like, really? That's how it comes across as.
Yeah, it's like when she's I'll download this thing and I'll post it for you guys to see, and I want you to tell me what you guys think, because I just find I just find this absolutely disgusting. She's a disgusting person, but for me, very particular, like to me, she's disgusting. But then again, what do I know? But we're gonna finish watching your thing, and then we'll do that. We'll list.
Here, can you restart it from the beginning? Sorry, and I won't interrupt.
No, me neither.
I remember in the car and driving up, and he said, "You know how to curtsy, right?" And I just thought it was a joke. Like, I curtsied as though I was like, "Pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty." I I remember in the car
Did you
and
go back for a
driving up, and you know how to
second
curtsy,
where
right?
she does her curtsy? I just noticed something right here. Pause it. As disgusted as Harry is, he starts smirking when she's doing that. Like he finds it funny. Do you notice that?
I don't know if he finds it funny, but I don't think he knows how to react to that. I don't really think that's a funny smile. It's like, oh my gosh, she's doing this. And then you smile. You know, Latinos, we do that all the time. It's like,
Like
you
an
know,
awkward grimace kind of thing.
yeah,
That's
it's
what you
kind of like a grimace. That wasn't a
Yeah.
smile. That was a grimace.
But we know that Harry is very immature, right? We know that he's very childish and he would find digs like that to be funny, right?
No, not this one, because you can see the eyes. You know, the smile
Mhm.
doesn't reach the eyes.
Okay.
And if you look at here, I'm not this, and you know that I fucking can't stand this.
God, look at her.
Look. And she knows how to be on her knees and how to have her head down doing stuff, you know?
I'm surprised her wig didn't fall off.
Look at him. Look at him like that.
Yeah.
And then he's looking. But look at him. He got serious again. It's like, I can see the revulsion, but he still goes along with it because it's gone too long.
It's a little like micro smirk. I swear, it's like a little
like
tinge.
he's not smiling for pleasure there, and I don't like wanker. You know, I don't like him. You know, and I want to clarify something. I didn't mean to insult cholas yesterday with my video, or was it today that I did that video? You don't know this term, Molly, but a chola is like a Latino expression for females.
Yeah,
it's not
I know.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, I know. I have some Spanish friends, and I've heard them throw that term around between themselves and stuff.
But that, yes. So I just want to clarify that. But this is actually ridiculous. I mean, this is disgusting. And this is why, I mean, we're going to listen to this, and this is from her own mouth. This is from her own mouth. Okay, we're going to listen to this. Let me see if this is the one here.
Are you playing a clip?
Listen to this.
Okay.
A friend of mine gave a student film that I had done to a manager, and he said, "You're going to make money and I want to take 10%. I think you should stay in LA." And I did. And so that was really like 5-6 years ago. I was auditioning. So, I'm so thrilled to not be auditioning anymore.
What do you think?
Can you replay that again? I just want to see it again. I always need to see some
student film that I had done to a manager, and he said, "You're going to make money and I want to take 10%. I think you should stay in LA." And I did. And so that was really like 5-6 years ago. I was auditioning. So, I'm so thrilled to not be auditioning anymore.
I think the entire story is bullshit.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, this entire story that she just told about some auditioning casting director and 10%, and I think she just made that entire story up, because you can tell, we've seen Megan long enough that we can tell when she's lying and bullshitting, right? She's always, when she's telling a story and she's full of shit, she always looks down and to the side, and then I think this entire story was bullshit and never happened. That's my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think is the real story?
I think maybe she went and talked to some acting director to be on a student film and instead had a rendezvous on his couch. And
what were you doing 5 years ago?
In his couch, and that's how you think she got it?
100%. I don't think Megan actually, I honestly think Megan is that type of girl to trade favors for spots. I mean, she wanted to be famous, right?
Yeah, no, you are absolutely right. And this I'm going to share with you guys. And I mean, it's brutal, man.
I mean, this girl lies so easily, right? She just lies all the time, like it's breathing to her. So I don't believe this story at all. It's such a bullshit story to me, in my opinion.
This one, Molly.
Yeah. What were you doing 5 years ago? Me personally?
Personally, what were you doing professionally?
Oh gosh, about 5 years ago, I had just started acting. I had double majored at Northwestern, theater and international relations, and I always thought I'd work in politics. I've been working for the U.S. Embassy in Argentina.
I had been working for the U.S. Embassy in Argentina. No, you weren't, girl. You were just a little
By the
intern.
way, I posted that on TikTok. And I mean, people from Northwestern University were commenting there's no such thing as a major in international.
Well, you had emailed them a long time
I
ago.
have emails. I have
your
photos,
original
I have
email.
everything. And if you go into the website, it says you cannot major in international relations. You have a bachelor's of international studies, just like you have a bachelor's of communications, which apparently that's the bachelor of communications that she was enrolled in. And there she could take theater, as she could do journalism, visual media, whatever type of journalism, camera. There are all kinds of things. So she was rightly, I think I don't know if she finished the communication bachelor, but she could have majored in theater because that major offers theater. That bachelor's in communication offers theater, but international studies is in a completely different campus, and you cannot major in international relations. You can get a master's afterwards, and you have to choose which country you would like to master their international relations. Like it's not worldwide international relations, and they only offer them as a minor. You can get a minor if you're studying international studies. You can get a minor in international relations. And I got the emails. I mean, and I've posted this so many times, but even if you go to their website and if you call them, even in their website, it tells you that for her to have those two majors, and that major doesn't exist, she would have needed, at least if she wanted to have two bachelors, because that would have been a bachelor, another bachelor would have been a bachelor in communications and a bachelor's in international studies. That would have required at least 7 years.
Yeah. She doesn't have that kind of time.
So no, she didn't have. She tried to take the foreign exam in order not to go back to study and see if she could. She's always trying to fast track everything.
Yeah. She's lazy. She
she's
doesn't want to do the work. She doesn't want to apply herself or do the work. That's why nothing works out for her.
I had people, Molly, telling me, because I did a long video about Mexico, why Mexico happened, and I went a little back in the history of that. Oh, you're repeating yourself. The reason why I repeat myself is because I got a lot of new subscribers, right? And a lot of people haven't heard this story. They're still going with the narrative that Megan is the victim, especially now that this book is going to come out. So it's good for us to keep in mind what we're dealing with.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. We need to keep bringing up her behavior and what she does so that people don't forget that she's been lying and doing this for a long time. This isn't something new. Her behavior is pathological.
Yeah, and this woman is in the royal website of the most prestigious monarchy in the world.
As a working member of the royal family.
Member of who honors her duty to the King Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Patronages. It's still there, guys. In case you're wondering, she's still there. And she's spending most of her time in the United States, the majority of her time in the United States. But their official residence is Frogmore Cottage, which was updated.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And we have 2 unverified children included in the line of succession. One of them is number 6 in the line of succession. And the other one is the next regent in case anything happens to Charles and William while William's kids are young. It's Harry. And for those of you who are coming at me, no, the Regents Act was modified in 2023 and it's still keeping Harry as the next regent in line.
Yeah, that needs to get, if they can quickly update the royal family website to reflect other changes, they're leaving that for a reason. And as long...
Yes, sorry, sweetie?
I said, as long as Harry and Meghan are listed as working members, well, they're working members who what's the word I'm looking for? Who represent the royal family. And Charles is okay with this, yeah.
But they are representatives of the royal family. Officially, they are, because in the royal website, it says the royal family members support the king in carrying out his duties. And then it goes royal family members of the royal family. And there are Harry and Meghan Markle. And
Yeah.
there's no excuse for that. Anybody who doesn't know the story looks to their website, say, oh, they're members of the royal family.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's how I see it too. That's how anyone who doesn't follow the royal family would see it. If a complete stranger goes to the royal family website and looks at members and sees Harry and Meghan, then they would think, oh, they're members of the royal family still. Anyone would think that. That's how they're represented.
Do you think Gomez is doing a book signing tour?
Maybe he'll walk into the stores and just start pulling books off the shelves and start signing them like he did last time.
They've already slashed the prices down, haven't they?
Probably.
They have. His thing went out. From what I understand, his prices were completely slashed down. And how are you doing with your channel, sweetie?
I haven't done anything on it for like the last little bit, right? Just because I'm just annoyed with YouTube and stuff, and I don't want them making any money off of me. But I've been taking some videos down and I've been cross-posting them to like X and my other thing that I have going on that's not ready yet, but it should be ready soon, and then I can announce it. But yeah.
Can you
I'm
answer
just taking it easy, huh?
Can you answer to Penny Lane?
Is Zara on the royal family website? No, of course not. Of course not. Just like how Beatrice and Eugenie aren't on the website. Just like how none of Sophie's children are on the website. We don't see Louise on the website. We don't know. None of them. But
because they're not working royals except Harry and Meghan.
Yeah. Which is why I believe, which is exactly why I think that Charles is still paying for them. I honestly think that Charles is still paying for their security. I think it's coming out of his own personal funds. I 100% believe that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if maybe not personal funds, but I don't think it's going to show up on records. That's for sure.
That's what there's a difference between not showing on record and then paying for it, because Charles is very cheap. Charles is very cheap,
but he'll cover Harry's ass so it doesn't look bad for him. Right? He would do that.
No, because I think, well, yeah, because again, Charles also has been able to get away with a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah, of course. 100%.
You know, no, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. But anyways, we're gonna go. But I want to thank Megan Small for being here.
Thank you, Paula.
Go sign up to her channel, Megan Small. Go watch all her videos. Subscribe. You know, because she needs you guys to keep engaged. Otherwise, what happens if it doesn't if we don't engage with you?
Basically, if I hit what happens is that if once I remove the videos that YouTube wants me to take down, if my watch hours fall under a certain amount, then they'll claim I don't have enough watch hours and they'll try and terminate my channel. But I think I'm okay for now. Yeah, because you're supposed to have 4,000 watch hours, but I have over like 50,000 watch hours. So
okay, you're okay then. But we don't want it to fall. So go.
No, I've been keeping an eye on it while I take down some videos and stuff, but I always keep an eye, so it's okay. We're okay. But thank you so much, Paula.
Hopefully, no. I'm thankful. Don't thank me for you being here. I want to thank you for being here. You know, I love your channel. I love you. I think you're amazing. And I think we should all support each other. You know, the Mexican community, we have to support each other. Well, we don't have to, but we should, you know, because God knows we have enough threats from the Sussex squad and Meghan Markle trying to shut down our channels. You know, like people tell me, I don't know if it happens to you, Molly. Sometimes I can't even upload videos depending on what's on the title.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get a message from YouTube, your title, review your title.
Yeah. Or YouTube has removed your thumbnail.
Yeah. So the people say, oh, you keep changing your titles, because I keep getting emails from YouTube that the title is not appropriate. And I mean, if they only knew what I want to put in the titles, I probably would cancel my channel, you know, but
I know it's a pain in the ass. I totally get it. It's just like, remember you and I did a live and then I sent you a message showing you that YouTube wanted to take down my live because it had the word nude in it.
Yes.
So I changed it to Skims.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that's insane. That is insane. I remember. You guys remember we had that live, but
But
you
I've
did
seen
have it, right?
people put other crazy words in their channels, that words that we're not supposed to say on YouTube, and it's been, but whatever.
I know, but this is again the thing that we, the Mexican community, or I'm not even the Mexican community.
No, I'm not either.
Everybody.
I don't
You
think
need to
so.
call it
Annie.
everybody. Meg, hey, give us for example, I wanted to put once on one of the videos, I wanted to see the cold girl and a dumbass prince. Why wouldn't they let me put that up? I thought it was actually, that's how I actually see them. Another one was the fake kids that never were, they wouldn't let me do that, in spite of the fact that
Well,
another
I got one video completely demonetized because in the thumbnail I put cuckold Harry. And my video got completely demonetized because it said cuckold in it.
Yeah. Another one that I put was the magical moving bump,
Yeah.
And they would let me, I mean, I really do have funny title, guys, but which is really what the video is about. And a lot of times I have to make the videos palatable for YouTube, because otherwise they won't allow me to post it, and I would get like harassment or hate speech or something like that, So yeah, those are the kind of titles I would like to put, or there was another title that I actually really wanted, that title, which is the day Archie was never born. That was, yeah, because or the what was the other one? The pregnancy that never was. And they wouldn't let me put those in there, which is because that's how I feel. When I do these videos, I want my titles to be, I don't like clickbait, but I want my titles to be as close to the video as possible. And then I have to change the video a lot. And then because they don't want that title and like shit, I have to, it is a nightmare, guys, So yeah, the pregnancy that never was, I wanted that, and the magical moving bump, and I wanted to put some of the bump, even some of your things,
I get it. No, I get it. Just like how YouTube wants all of my moon bump videos down.
Like, no. Go
But
to
doesn't that tell you exactly what you need to know, though? Right? The fact that they want it taken down tells you everything that I need to know. That's for sure.
They can't take parody, can they? They can't even make fun of themselves, That's really
No, they can't. I mean, look at how they reacted over the Family Guy show. Like, that didn't even say anything about them. It just made fun of her, and now she's known as the Taco Princess.
And Del Taco posted something on X. But
Yeah.
yeah. But anyways, thank you for coming here, sweetie. And I'll talk to you later. And please go subscribe to Megan's Mall. Do a live, by the way. We're gonna have on Friday.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have on Friday the live at Shauna's channel. So Megan's Mall will be there, and some other people as well. So it will be a lot of fun. And tomorrow's my 55th birthday. So I'm gonna have a live. Yeah, if you want to come by and say hi, Megan's Mall, I'll be happy. It'd be fun. I'm gonna a few YouTubers are gonna drop by to say hi and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Send you the link. That'd be a lot of fun, so we can make fun and mock everybody. I'll be 55 tomorrow. Yes, all these wrinkles are mine.
No, you look amazing. You look fantastic.
You need glasses, but thanks anyway. I'll take it.
Just take the damn compliment for once.
I'll take it. And please, I hope your little man gets better.
Thank you, lovely.
We'll talk later. And thanks everybody for joining us. Please go watch Megan's Mall. Things. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe all of our videos. It goes into a lot of effort. And as you heard, she's having issues with YouTube just for speaking out or even mocking things. Apparently sense of humor is illegal nowadays. Fiber warriors, you're 62, you're a young chick. Anyways, thanks very much and see you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Paula.
Bye.